Hello friends, in this video lecture we are going to discuss the decoupled method to solve the load flow problem. So let us begin. So friends, till now we have studied the two methods to solve the load flow problem. The first one was Gauss-Seidel method and second one we have discussed it was Newton-Raphson method. So from the Newton-Raphson method we have this relationship. We have already discussed this relationship in the topic of under Newton-Raphson method. Okay, now uh, let us try to understand the decoupled method to solve the load flow problem. Okay, see, in a power system, if you see the real power, it is more sensitive, or I can say it is more dependent on the phase angles. Okay, and it is not more sensitive, or it is less sensitive to the voltage. Okay, same is the case for the reactive power. I can say reactive power is more dependent on the voltage and it is less sensitive to the phase angle. Let me give the justification to this. Let us see that. See, we have the real power equation in the transmission line as EV upon X into sine delta. Okay, now see, once the transmission line is constructed, we cannot change this value of reactance. Okay, of course, we may have certain compensator connected in the transmission line, but still, when we fix the compensator, then also it is fixed. The reactance will be the fixed. We cannot change it. Okay, and of course, these values of the voltages. Of course, in a power system, we try to maintain the voltages near to 1 per unit. Okay, so what we are getting here from this, can I say that now the real power is depending on sine of delta. Okay, if you remember the concept of the power system stability, if you know this concept from the P versus delta curve, this is how this curve looks like. What we do, uh, we try to operate the power system within this linear segment. Okay, within this linear segment, or under or up to the phase angle of 30 degree. Okay, it is a stability concern. So you see here the phase angle, it is having a smaller value. Okay, so we know that if the angle is smaller, the sine delta, it becomes delta. Okay, when sine delta becomes delta, when the angle is small. Okay, so here we know that we are operating the power system at lower angles. Okay, it is from the stability concern. So from this I can say that the real power is dependent on the phase angle and it is less dependent on the voltage. Okay, second thing, regarding the reactive power, what I have given you the thing that reactive power is more sensitive to the voltage and it is less sensitive to the phase angle. So let us see that how we can write the reactive power. This reactive power Q, it can be, see, approximately it can be written as change in voltage by X into VR. Okay, it is an approximate equation. Okay, if you want a generalized equation, then you have so many terms here. Okay, so I have not included that. I have considered the approximated formula here. So from this we can say that the reactive power is, now we can see clearly that it is directly depending on the voltage. Okay, and you can see that here it is not depending on the phase angle. Okay, so with this, if we apply this these concepts to our the equations that we have written here, see, if I apply the same thing here, you see what I have given you, the voltage, the real power is depending on the phase angle, not on the voltage, or sense in terms of sensitivity I'm speaking. Okay, so the partial differentiation of the real power with respect to voltage, it goes to zero in that condition. Okay, this term will become zero. Okay, why? The real power is not depending on the voltage. Okay, if we take the partial differentiation in that case, you will find that its differentiation will become zero. Same is the case with the reactive power, as it is less sensitive to the phase angle, so this term it goes to zero. Okay, so what is happening here, the Jacobian matrix that we have, it is now the number of elements or the number of terms in the Jacobian matrix are becoming half. Okay, see what relationship we have now, change in P, change in Q, or the specified value minus calculated value, these are. Here is the Jacobian term. First term would come now, partial differentiation of the real power with respect to phase angle. Second term is 0, next term is 0. Here, partial differentiation of the reactive power with respect to, it is voltage. Okay, into the correction vector. Okay, so now you see here what we did when I use this concept. The Jacobian matrix, number of element in the Jacobian matrix are reduced. Now straight away it is reduced by 50%. So it will help me to reduce the computation time. Okay, so if I go with this method, what will happen? The first thing, computation time, it will reduce. Second thing, memory requirement, which was the problem in the Newton-Raphson method. Memory requirement will also go down. Okay, again, see here, with this relationship, can I write this as change in P is equal to partial differentiation of the real power with respect to delta into this del delta. Okay, second thing, change in Q is equal to partial differentiation of this reactive power with respect to V into del V. Okay, now you see here, and I'm getting a separate equation for this P and I'm getting a separate equation for this Q. Now we have to solve these equations now. Okay, earlier we were getting the more equations because the Jacobian, in Jacobian matrix all the terms were present. Now as the terms has reduced, so here steps are getting reduced now. Okay, now we have to solve these equations. We have to solve these two equations. The equations that we have here, we have to solve these two equations to get these corrections. Okay, to get this correction we have to solve these equations. Okay, so there are two different methods are available for solving this method or for solving this equations. So the first one, it is sequential mode. Okay, sequential mode of solution. See what happens in sequential mode of solution, we will solve these equations one by one. First we will solve this first equation, then we will solve this second equation. Okay, first when we solve this first equation, we'll get the corrections in the deltas. Okay, now after this we'll go for this second equation. So this is how we solve this equation if we are going with the sequential mode of solution. Okay, one more way is there, we can go with the simultaneous mode. Simultaneous mode of solution. So as name indicate, in simultaneous mode of solution, we will solve these two equations simultaneously. Okay, out of these two, the best way or the more practically useful method is the sequential solution, sequential mode of solution. Why it is so? See, if you are carrying out the load flow problem, suppose if you are concerned with the reactive power only, suppose if you want to control the voltage profile on the transmission line, so of course you have to control the reactive power. So if you are concerned with those studies, then you can directly solve these equation only. No need to solve for the first one. Or else, suppose if you are interested to do the economical studies, okay, suppose if you want to find the optimum allocation of the generation, if you are going for the unit commitment, if you are going for the frequency controlling in the power system, then of course you should have the idea of the real power in the system, so that in that case you can independently solve this first equation. Okay, so that is how this sequential mode of solution is helping us. So that is why most of the time practically the sequential mode of solution is uh, preferred over simultaneous mode of solution. Okay, now here, as I have given that, if we go with the decoupled method, computational time is reducing, memory requirement is also reducing. But here, if you see here, the number of iterations required are more as compared to the Newton-Raphson method. It is because of those assumptions which we are considering in our solution, in our method. Okay, what are those two assumptions we have considered? We have considered the thing that the real power is only depending on the phase angle and it is not at all depending on the voltage. Reactive power is depending only on the voltage and it is not at all depending on the phase angle. With these assumptions, we are carrying out this method. That is why, since we have used some assumptions, we are using some approximations. So due to that approximations, number of iterations are increasing. Okay, because to reach to the solution, to reach to the exact solution, if we go with the exact data, then number of iteration required will be reduced. But as since we are going with certain assumption, so number of iteration required will be more, but the time requirement will be same or it will be less as compared to the Newton-Raphson method. Okay, again, what we are doing here, as the name indicates, it is a decoupled method. So what we are doing here, we are decoupling these matrices. Okay, so we are decoupling the real power from voltage and we are decoupling the reactive power from the phase angle. That is why the name comes decoupled load flow method. Okay, because of those approximation, we have been able to decouple the real power and the reactive power, and by that way we are reducing the memory requirement, we are reducing the computational time, but of course number of iteration will be more. Okay, thank you very much.